They'll be calling you a radical, so let's get right to this. The official numbers are in. They're done. So we've got the official numbers on the Epic Pacific Salmon 2016, 2017, the greatest epic collapse of salmon of any ecosystem in world history, bar none. So the official count ends the 15th. Now today is 2,412 days of the Fukushima cover-up. Let's get right to the official numbers. And we're not hypothesizing anything. My days of hypothesizing were over. My hypothesis was 100% right. So let's get right to it. Stillhead on the Bonneville, which is the healthiest by far. We'll use the two big strong ones. We're going to use the Bonneville and the Willamette. Those are the strongest by far. So here we go. The official count on the Bonneville Stillhead is 118,000. Okay, you heard me right, 118,000. So what was the projection? 425,000. What is the 10-year mean? 400,000. They've been in steady decline since Fukushima happened because of the 29. Now, let's caveat this with the fact that the anchovies and sardines are now in their fourth consecutive year of 99% collapse. You heard me right, 99. Now let's talk. Now remember, the tide pools are completely dead. The tide pools are dead all the way up and up post Fukushima. We had videos in 2010 of Point Loma, of Laguna, at Olympia, freaking all of them. We have my videos after. They acutely died thereafter. The hypothesis, the fallacy, this has been dying for years, is just that, a fallacy. Now remember, okay, so let's get to the Chinook numbers on the Bonneville. I just gave you the Stillhead on the Bonneville. The Chinook number on the Bonneville, 480,000. That's official. Right 480. What was the projection? 2.1 million. Now remember, this is by number of fish counted through the sonar. They get them all. They count every single fish. This is not by weight. We know by weight from first-hand accounts. Tim, my whole army that's up there talking about this and documenting this history, they're coming in half weight, which is documented by the T Club, the Fraser. You know, it's documented. They're coming in half weight. They're coming in white. So that's a catastrophe. That's 75% collapse over projections. Now remember this. Now, this is real important. The Bonneville Chinook numbers were record returns in 2015, 2014, 2013. 1.1 million, 1.2 million, 1.35 million respectively. Why? Record escapement, record escapement. Projection for 2016, 1.7 million. Came in at 688,000. Again, by number. Projection for 2017, 2.1, based on escapement, record escapement, record escapement. You heard me, the official number's in, 480,000. Projection 2.1, based on escape. They're saying themselves it's the pasture. Also remember that California, Oregon, and Washington have all filed for federal disaster aid. Federal disaster aid has been filed for this epic 2017-2016 salmon collapse, which they say the cop out. Okay, let's get to the Willamette. Now this is the number that really will this is the second biggest, this is the strongest. Now, the Stillhead on the Willamette, it's official, for the year, 2,799 fish. You heard me right. Tracy Hall, he's the guy that invented the synthetic diamond. By the way, he was my 8th grade history teacher at Walquist Junior High. So, he was fantastic. So was his brother. Great teachers. Home of Fawn McKay Brody here. So I got mentored by the best of the best. Legendary finance Professor Clyde Cooley. 2,799. What was the projection? 31,000. 31,000. What was the number last year? 28,000. You heard me right. Year-over-year collapse of over 90%. The Trump administration, like the Obama administration, have kept this going. Remember, Trump met with Abiy, first guy in the thing. Abiy is the kingpin of the greatest cover-up against the greatest crimes in human history. And any fools that saying, oh, you know, where's the proof that... It's right here. Remember, Chinook salmon go to sea on an average of 5 years. That's the average they go. You know, the Copper River is the big, strong one up there. You know, get your exclusive Copper River. They came in at 50% of projections last year. They came in at 40% this year. They're coming in like, I mean, and this is unequivocal proof that it's Fukushima that's doing it, because it wasn't a steady decline. Look, any stats professor, anybody that's got half a brain, let's walk over here to my old classroom. The University of General Electric, who did this, which they report on Friday, they're going to miss. The anniversary of Black Friday is the 19th. They report on the 20th. They're going to miss. They're going to miss dramatically. They're going to get slashed. They're going to get cut. You know, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. It's going to get its head ripped off. They're remodeling the social science building. The ethics department been gutted. So, I've run regression, millions of regressions, so has Noah. Noah's projections completely off, out of the mean. They deviated by the mean, and Noah will admit this. Noah will come out, University of Washington, University of Oregon, all their projections, all their numbers deviate from the mean hundreds of thousands of times. How's that even possible? Because they didn't plug in Fukushima. They're based on record escapement, and their models are good. But they left one component out, the greatest event in human history, which is the greatest crimes in human history. How's it going? So, the bottom line is this. This was not, like my cancer, was not chronic. This was acute. Now again, we have video proof of all the tide pools, my work, up and down the coast of California, hundreds of tide pools. Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, all the way up and down. Before Fukushima and after, an acute collapse. Starfish suck up radiation and plutonium 10,000 times faster than any creature on Earth. They were the first to go. I'm the first guy that started reporting the plume. This is not hypothesis now. This is first you hypothesize, the great PhDs. That's what you do. You hypothesize the knowledge. Stood right over here. It's going to give you leukemia. It's going to give you leukemia. They're going to lie. They're going to lie. They're just going to push it into the Pacific Ocean. They're going to boil the frogs nicely. They're going to lie. It's going to break the chain. It's going to break the luminescence. This heat source that comes off, bringing star power to Earth, is going to break the chain. It's going to kill the plankton. You know, tide pools are plankton feeders. You know, big fish eat little fish. You know, whales are plankton. More whales washed up on the coast of California in the last, dead whales, in the last 2 years than the previous 300 combined. That's my work. We don't count dead whales. We don't count dead starfish. We don't count dead anchovies. We don't count dead tide pools. We don't count dead human beings, for that matter. Oh, I do. I do. Oh, they count salmon. Every last single one of them. They blew their mates. So, obviously, we know that. This is where I used to teach. This is where I graduated. #1 school of business in the United States. When I graduated, last letter of recognition from the legendary finance professor Clyde Cooley. So, the last number that came in was today. Today's the final number. It's in. What a joke that clown is. It's one of the great. So they go from the #1 school of business in the United States to like 500. Those are the clowns that run it. They're clowns. So, anyway. The numbers are in. You can't argue with them. It's off a cliff. It's an acute collapse. So we know if it's running regression, any 101 stats professor knows. There's an outliner. Something's, what's blowing up these means? What happened? Wow. So you can obviously draw the line because the stillhead started going in 2012. 2013, they're lower and lower and lower, and it's getting progressively worse. Now, by the way, Washington came out yesterday, 2 days ago, and said for the first time in their history, their test nets are coming back with 0. They thought something was wrong with their nets. Again, why are they so soft? Before they were mystified, they were puzzled, they were perplexed, they were stumped. Now they're shocked. The test nets are coming with not one single salmon in them. Not one salmon. Not one. Unheard of. It never happened. They're shocked, they say. Went from perplexed to shocked. So we know that something happened. So I've said it the whole time. Everybody's organized. Wait till 2016. 26 projection. Now this is the Bonneville. This is the strongest by far. The rest are much, much, much worse. All the tributaries in the worst, much, much, much worse. Extinction level events. The Trump administration, just like the Obama administration, is nothing more than cover up and in violation of the Endangered Species Act, which is law. You know, they pick and choose their own laws. So, bottom line, they missed it. The scientists that are mystified, no, they didn't miss it. They're criminals. And they're recorded in history. And you can go ahead and record your dogma in history. How do any of you people know this, you YouTube spinners? Sitting in your basement, you know, sitting on a screen. You don't do any work. You're not activists. Now, my activism, I'll be headed to California ASAP to get my son off at work to redock some more tide pools. You know, I think I got a place to stay. I need to get a plane ticket. You know, of course, we got the Million Miles March coming up. I need to get that handled. You know, I've got a lot of work. I need to raise some money to keep this good going on. It's important. It's historic work. And I do the work. I do the work. Look up my resume. Look up my resume if you don't believe me. So, I'll end because I knew this is the greatest event in human history. 2016. Why 2016? Because the average Chinook goes to sea for 5 years. This is the first batch back in 2016. The batch came back in 2016 at 65% under projected mean, under projections. You know, 2017 progressively worse. They came in at 75% under projections. On record escapement. And you're not alarmed? I mean, this is the biggest event in human history. The Fukushima. Now think about it, 2,412 days of bringing star power to Earth, that's Livermore, a nuclear fission event, major nuclear sun, a gas which I've called plutonium. You know, just like they laughed at Tracy when he invented the synthetic diamond. You know, they laugh at me when I says, I came up with FU, plutonium. It's a gas being released. Oh, they won't be laughing in the future. This PhD mine will go down in history as the greatest PhD in human history. And, you know, that's not arrogance. That's just a fact. It's going to give you leukemia. I got leukemia. A type of leukemia that is less than 1%. Here, let me show you something. I want to show you that. That's a 1%er survival band. You know? So, you know, a great PhD, you hypothesize, which I did. They're going to lie. But then you have to do 4 years of field work. They don't do any field work. Then you defend your work, which I've had to defend it vigorously. Attack, death threats, whatever. Because the only platform I had was YouTube. You know, it's just YouTube. It's just fire. It's just the will. It's just the operating system. Yeah, that's all. You know, it's just YouTube. But it's, you know, I mean, look, people are branding themselves all over in history as clowns. Because that's what they are. They just, how would they know anything? They don't do any work. This is what I've used. You know, it'll come out of the YouTube and into the academia circles someday. And into the, you know, the world of real knowledge someday. You know, someday it'll get packaged. Most likely it'll be a documentary, books, films, maybe. You know, well, I'm sure of that. When, I don't know. But the data's in. Historic collapse, the Pacific Genocide, the Great Pacific Genocide. Kevin D. Blanch, PhD, AML, leukemia, 1% survivor. Stand tuned. The Great Pacific Genocide is very real.